الو.
الو.
ايوه يا مالك.
ايوه يا مالك. انت بتعمل سكريبت؟
ايوه بعمله اهو، قربت اخلصه.
عشان انا وسهيلة جايين نصور الجرامر بكره ومعانا اللينك لايف وكده.
ايوه لا بعمله اهو.
متأكد؟
ايوه متأكد. يلا مع السلامة.
ماشي مع السلامة. هاي، احنا في بيت مالك دلوقتي
اهو يعني انا سهيلة ومريم.
تعمل ايه؟ تعمل سمعت بيعمل ايه؟
حاجة؟
هات الكشكول نشوف السكريبت.
ده؟
انت بتعمل سكريبت الاول جديد ولا ايه؟
لا
انا مش قلت لك امبارح شكله باين. ايه ده؟ ده فاضي. ده فاضي. Hello everyone. Today we're gonna talk about the present simple.
Sorry, we mean past perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay, this lesson is more complicated than usual. Today we'll focus on how we form and when to use these tenses. In the end of this lesson, we'll make a small test for you to understand this lesson. So let's start. Now Malik will explain you the name of the lesson.
So I will let you know the meaning and the form of the past perfect from its own name. So with the meaning, perfect means that an action had happened before another action or a time, and past means that these two actions had happened in the past. So with them together, the past perfect express an action that had completely happened before another action in the past. For example, Sam had already left by the time Anne got there. So Sam had left in that point, and Anne had got there after Sam had already left. And with the form, perfect means have or has or had. And we have to use had because there's a past. So past means that we have to use had plus the past participle. For example, I had eaten before my father came. So eating here is the past participle. And we use had because it is a past perfect tense. And now Mariam will teach you how to form the past perfect.
Okay, so to form the past perfect, we have regular verbs and irregular verbs. So with the regular verbs, had plus past participle, verb plus ed to form the past participle. For example, you had worked late. It had snowed. So verbs ending in e. Verbs ending in e. Had plus past participle, verb plus d to form the past participle. And we have some examples such as left, close, or wipe. Correct form of verbs ending in e. I had left there. They had wiped the floor. Incorrect. They had left there. So we put another e with the d. So this is incorrect. They had wiped the floor. We put e with a d. So this is incorrect. And now with verbs ending in y preceded by a consonant, like spy, fly, cry, or try, etc., the y becomes I. For example, we studied hard, we cried a lot. Irregular verbs. The irregular verbs have a unique past perfect form, had plus past participle. She had bought some flowers at the market. The basic form, to buy. We had run the marathon. The basic form, to run. And now Sohaila will continue after me.
Okay, now how we make a question in the past perfect. First, with the regular verbs, had plus past participle, which is verb plus ed. Examples: had Had you kicked the ball? Had they worked on the farm? In the irregular verbs, had plus past participle and past participle has a unique past perfect form. Examples: had she quit her job? Had they paid for dinner? In the negative with the regular verbs, had was not contracted to hadn't plus past participle, which is verb plus ed. Examples: I hadn't listened to the news. In the irregular verbs, had was not contracted to hadn't plus past participle, and past participle has a unique past perfect form. Examples: she hadn't quit her job. The infinitive form is to quit. And now Malik will teach you how to use the past perfect.
So now let's see how to use the past perfect tense. So the first use that it expresses an activity that was completed before another activity or time in the past. For example, the thief simply walked in. Someone had forgotten to close the door. So someone had forgotten to close the door first, and then after this action, the thief had walked in. Simple. The second use is if either before or after is used in the sentence. The past perfect in that case isn't necessary because the relation is already clear. So in that case, we might use the past simple. For example, Mariam had died after she ate Malik's cake.
And now, as we finish the form and the uses and the meaning of the tense, let's move on to the exercises of the past perfect. Okay, so for example 1, I brush my teeth before I go to bed. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to solve this example, and then I'm gonna solve it. Okay, so now let's solve it. I had brushed my teeth before I went to bed. Or now, okay. Okay, so now for the next example, they decide to buy a car after the old one break down. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to solve it. Okay, so now let's solve it. So they decided to buy a car after the old one had broken. Okay, this is the end of the lesson. I hope you like it.
Make sure you studied well.
See you soon and
Goodbye.